Okay, I think this is recording. I actually, I don't know, it's Saturday and I felt like making a video. I actually have stuff to talk about this time. I'm about to dig in a little bit to Aki Dango. I've talked about dango before, but it's just like they're so exciting. It's in a cute little box with a little flower, actually leaf. And for Mason, it looks like a Canadian leaf. If I can freaking get this box open, I'd show you. But, there we go. Oh, it's kind of wet. It's kind of smells funny, but, there you go, Mason. Go Canada. Huh. They like to put these little, plastic things in a lot of things, and it's kind of wasteful, I think, but, oh well. But let's see, this past week was interesting. I just got back from the gym a little while ago and eating and everything, but yesterday, well, this past week has been just tiring, I guess. I've just been busy. Classes haven't been that easy. It's been at the beginning of a new semester, and it's the last semester for all my students because it's a 2-year school where I work, and I have all second-year students. And so the Japanese are okay, but the Chinese students now, they're just basically like, we're done. And so it's like, oh, okay. For one class, we do as much as we can, and then I show like 20 minutes of a little video or something at the end of class, because class is 90 minutes long, and they don't even want to be there for like 10, so it can be interesting. But yesterday, after I was done teaching, I went to karaoke for about an hour and a half, sang my lungs out, which was great. And then I headed over to Fifi and Lena's apartment to watch, Lena and I watch Ugly Betty together every week. And we are on episode 20, maybe we finished or something. It's a great series. If you guys haven't seen it, watch it. It's amazing. I laughed so hard. And I'm like so surprised because I mean like Will and Grace was in the States and that was about gay stuff. But I guess it was kind of like, it was mainstream and everything, but it was like, it was a gay show, and in Ugly Betty it's not, but they have gay people in it and they talk about it and it's crazy. I'm just like, oh my gosh, people actually watch this. This is amazing. I'm so surprised. And yeah, it's just crazy. So we're watching it. First we went to dinner and nothing really big happened then, but then let's see what happened first. Oh, we get back to their apartment and we're trying to watch the DVD, and then all of a sudden like they start speaking Chinese to each other, and it turns out there's no water in the apartment, so in their apartment. So we're trying to figure out what's going on, and they're realizing so it's like they can't take a bath, they can't wash their hands, they can't go to the bathroom, and so we tried to call people. It was 8:30 in the evening, and the Suido, I don't know, water company, I guess, people close at like 8, and then the apartment company also closes at like 8, so we missed everything by just like half an hour. It was terrible because we could have checked the water. It's just too bad they didn't check the water like just a little earlier. And so we weren't sure if it was just their apartment or the whole building, so Lena and I went upstairs, and we were really nervous because they don't know any of their neighbors or anything. And so we rang the doorbell, and then she's talking to them, and they're like, oh my gosh, we don't have water either. And so we went to the park that's right next to their house, and it had water, so it was just the building. And so we're like, okay, well, we'll have to haul water in. Then we're watching Ugly Betty some more. We got to resume. And after a while, I smelled something really weird, and I was just like, and I asked her if she smelled it, and so we both thought that Fifi was like smoking or burning something, and so I was just like, ha ha ha, and then I'm thinking, oh my gosh, what if the apartment's on fire? And so they look outside, and out in the parking lot, like, that was right, it's like their apartment building would be right here, and then there's a parking lot right here, and there were 3 cars, and the third one was this huge van, and there's all this smoke coming out of the hood, and we're just like, and it was so scary because it was like, oh my gosh, it's going to explode, and then these other cars are going to explode, and we're all going to die. And so we're just standing there, and we're being really smart. We're looking at it, and we're just like, what do we do? I don't know. Oh my gosh, who should we call? I don't know. What do we do? And it was just like, yeah, that's smart. And so then people are walking on the street down below and they notice us. And so then, like, this guy's walking his dog, and the dog goes to a lamppost, which is right by the car. And he's letting the dog do its thing or whatever. And he looks up and he kind of hears us. So he looks up and sees us, and he sees that we're like kind of freaking out. And he looks up and sees all the smoke. And he's like, ugh, and he kind of runs off. And then this guy on was it a bike? Or some other guy just with groceries or something, they met. And so they then they called somebody, and so they yelled at us. It's like, we called the police and the fire department. And so we're like, okay, now what do we do? And Lena's like, should we shut the door? Should we keep it open? And I was like, well, if it's shut and it explodes, then glass will come flying at us. She's like, yeah. So we decided to exit the apartment, and we went down below, and we're getting really, really far. We're kind of looking to see, but then we're getting really, really far away and just kind of poking our head. Well, Lena and I are. Fifi's just like, whatever, and she's just walking right towards it, just looking at it, watching it. And finally, not finally, the police came really quickly, or I guess it was the fire truck people. It was like within 5 minutes, which is amazing. And they come running in, and right as they get there, like 10 seconds before they got there, all the smoke stopped. And so they come running, they're like, which car? And they're running, they've got like axes and like the hose and all this other stuff. And they're asking the guy that had called, they weren't even sure. So I'm like, it was that one. And I read the license plate, I get kind of close and I read it and I yell it at them. And so they're like, okay. And so they're running around the car and the guy's like, where was the smoke coming out? Where was the smoke coming out? We're like, it's from the front. And he's not listening to us and he's just running around. And it's just like, oh my gosh. And finally, they figure out, they're like, okay. So they're looking at it, and Lena and I are freaking out again. So we get farther and farther. And so it's like, it's going to explode. We're all going to die. And all these Japanese people all of a sudden appear, like out of nowhere, and they all go crowd around the car. And it's just like, oh my gosh, don't they realize how dangerous it is? I don't even know if it's dangerous, but like since I got the Xbox, I've been playing games like Crackdown or Grand Theft Auto 4, things like that, where you play with vehicles, you drive them into things, and they start smoking, and then they explode. And so I'm like going, oh my gosh, I know it's a video game, but still it's in my head. And then the police come, and then somebody who owns the car finally comes, and they're just like, oh, we'll go with the key, and they disappear in their house for like 10 minutes, and then they come back and they're like, we don't have a key. And I don't understand what that was, but they finally get the hood open, and then Fifi had to use the restroom, so we're like, okay, we'll just go to McDonald's so she can use the restroom, because obviously we can't use ours. And we went, and when we came back, they were almost done, but nothing exploded, so we were okay. But it was so scary. I couldn't believe how scary it was. I mean, I was just like, and that was all during like the first episode that we were watching. We watched 4 episodes last night, and it took like 2 hours to watch the first one because we kept getting first the water thing, and then like the exploding car thing, and I don't know. I had to put my shoes on and off. Like Lena was making fun of me because it was like 5 different times going in and out of the apartment. I have tie shoes now, shoes that you have to tie. I hate them here. And I really want slip-ons or something. She says I should get Velcro, and I'm like, Velcro, it reminds me of being like a little kid or an old man, but maybe. Anyway, wow, 8 minutes. Holy freaking cow. So yeah, that's the excitement here. It was a crazy night. Wow. And now I'm going to settle down with my akidango. Akidango means fall dango, or autumn dango, not fall like, ah! And have my glass of wine. I'm going to see how it is, because Jody has been extolling the virtues of having a glass of wine at night, because she gets heartburn sometimes, but when she drinks wine, it doesn't happen. And like Lane and I met for okonomiyaki and monja for lunch on Thursday, and she was still a little hungover, which was funny. So Mason, I've been looking for you. I'm going to buy you points soon and try to mail some stuff tomorrow if I can. And hello to people with whom I communicate through YouTube. There's a few of you now. It's crazy. But yeah. Anyway, talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.